In this week's episode of Working with Work, I'm going to give you PACT. Hello, my name is Carl Pauline, and in this week's episode of Working with Work, I want to tell you all about PACT, or PAC, which stands for Patience, Action, Consistency and Time. The 4 elements that you need to reach the goals and your life outcomes. Now, last week I covered patience and consistency because I think those 2 things most people these days seem to lack when they want to achieve something, whatever it is, whether it's a social media site, whether it's actually achieving your goals. But there are 2 other parts to this, and I did briefly mention it in last week's episode. But in this week's episode, I really want to give you a little bit more detail on those 2 parts, which are action and time. So the 4 parts all come together to make the to make up the phrase, the word PACT, P-A-C-T. But really, what we're looking at is patience, action, consistency, and time. Today, I'm going to focus a little bit more on the action and the time because these 2 are also crucial if you want to achieve your goals or if you want to achieve pretty much anything out there. So let's start off with action. Now, what do I mean by action? Well, in order for you to achieve a goal, you must take action. In order for you to build a social media site, you must take action. Action is the driving force, if you like. It's the engine. It's pushing you further forward because every action step that you take, you are going to get closer and closer towards your goal. So, of course, you've got to be patient. This isn't going to happen overnight. You have to be consistent. So your action steps have to consistently happen. Because let's take the simple example of losing weight. If you want to lose 10 kilograms or say 30 pounds of weight, well, without taking any action, it's not going to happen. I'm reminded of a wonderful quote by Zig Ziglar, where he said that if you choose to eat too much today, then you also choose to be overweight tomorrow. I think that's a wonderful quote because let's talk about gaining weight. Yeah, if you eat too much, then you're going to gain weight. So to lose weight, you have to take the action step of not eating too much. Indeed, if you actually want to lose weight, you have to reduce the amount that you eat. So it's the action step is going to be a reduction. If you want to lose weight quickly, then you need to increase your activity by doing some kind of sport or some kind of physical activity that will enable to boost your metabolism so that you lose weight. It's an action step. Now take this a little bit further, and if you want to, say, get promoted at work, well, just sitting at your desk doing your daily regular routine work is probably not going to get you promoted. Certainly not in a very good company. Companies that just promote because of how long you've been with the company may not be the best company for you, but that's just my personal opinion. But, you know, if you want to get promoted, you're going to have to take action steps. That action step may include improving your skills at something. It may include taking another degree, a master's degree or an MBA. Whatever it is, you still need to take action because nothing is going to happen unless you take action. So if you take the 4 parts together, you take the patience, consistency and time, then you're obviously, the only thing therefore is missing is action. And action will take you forward. It's like, as I say, it's like the engine. Those action steps, every time that piston shoots up, is an action step, and it is moving you closer and closer towards your goal. The second part that I didn't mention last week was time. Now, time is the difficult one. You do need to allow yourself sufficient time to achieve your goal or to achieve your outcome. And that really does depend on whatever it is that you want to achieve. So let's take, for example, if you want to lose that 30 pounds or you want to 10 kilograms, 30 pounds, whatever it is you want to lose in weight, as I said, it's not going to happen overnight. You're going to have to allow sufficient time to do it. And now you have to set a realistic goal on this one, because you're not going to lose 30 pounds in a week. You're not going to lose it in 2 weeks. You're not going to lose it in 3 or 4 weeks. 30 pounds, I think, is probably going to take about 6 months. Well, certainly 10 kilograms would take about 6 months to do. And therefore you have to take action steps. You have to be consistent, and you have to be patient for 6 months for that weight to actually come off. Likewise, again, the example of if you want to get promoted at your work. Now that depends on where you want to get promoted. It could be that you want to become the next CEO of your company. Well, in that case, that could take a long time. That could take 10 years. It could take 20 years. It does depend where you are today in terms of the company's organization. But again, it's going to take time, and you need to figure out a realistic time frame to achieve that goal. So when you bring the 4 elements together, the 2 that I covered last week, patience and consistency, and these 2, action and time, when you combine those 4 things, then you are going to start really seeing some changes in your life, some positive changes in your life. It's going to take you closer and closer to the goals and your ambitions and your outcomes for your life. The 4 elements are needed to be there. Obviously, you also need to know exactly what you want to do or what you want to achieve. So you need the vision. You also need the action steps, because if you don't pre-set out the action steps, you don't know what to do, and you need to know what the outcome is going to look like. But once you've got those, then you need to apply a little bit of patience, a little bit of consistency. You've got to put in the action steps, and you've got to give yourself a realistic time frame in order to achieve those goals. But once you've got it, once you've got those elements in place, the world really can give you so much, and you could achieve so much. So think about it in terms of, to improve your life, to take you wherever you want to go, then you need to be mentally prepared, and you need to be prepared also on paper so that you know exactly where you're going to go. The action, the PACT steps, the patience, the action, the consistency, and the time is really mental. You've got to get yourself out there to get these things done, and you've got to make sure that you're prepared for those difficult times, those times when you're not really in the mood, those times when you're tired, but you've got to be prepared for them. But once you get that, once you get all those things in place, boy, can you achieve so much. So come on guys, I really want you to come out there and start achieving your goals, particularly you guys who've really struggled in the past to achieve those goals. Seriously, it really is a lot of effort. You need to be patient, you've got to be consistent, and you've got to take those action steps every day, every week, every month, every year, and allow the right amount of time for you to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. Good luck guys. I really am behind you. If there's anything I can do to help you, don't forget I've got online courses that you can take that will help you. A complete guide to creating a successful life will help you. The goals planning course will help you. There's so much resources out there that I can show you and tell you about to really help you to achieve your goals. And of course, if you have any questions, please ask them in the comments section below. One final thing before I go, and I should have mentioned this at the beginning, but so I'm mentioning it at the bottom. My new book, Your Digital Life, edition 2, second edition, is coming out later this year, around about November or December, which means that I got some really good news. If you haven't bought it already, Your Digital Life, my first edition of Your Digital Life, is now being reduced on my website only, on my personal website only, to $5. So if you haven't got yourself a copy, go to my website. You can buy the book there in Amazon Kindle format, iBook format, Whatever format you want, it is there. You can now buy this book for $5. It's on my website. So guys, if you haven't bought a copy already, this is a great chance for you. It's going to be on $5 now until the new book comes out. So if you want to get hold of a copy, go to my website, www.carlpullein.com. There will be a link in the section below, and you can get yourself this book now for $5. So go out there and get yourself a copy. It just remains for me now to wish you all an incredibly productive week.